Luna Garcia had been staring at the birthday cake for 20 minutes, trying to work up the courage to write 4 words. Just 4 words. On a small card that she'd slip into the box with Lorenzo Vitale's birthday cake. Make a wish. Luna. Simple. Sweet. Innocent enough that if he didn't feel the same way, she could pretend it was just a friendly birthday message, but loaded enough that if he did, and God, she hoped he did, it would finally break 2 years of tension that was slowly killing her. Filia, that cake is perfect. Stop fussing with it. Maria Garcia appeared at her daughter's shoulder, wiping flour from her hands. He's going to love it. He always does. It needs to be perfect, Luna said, adjusting a sugar flour for the 3rd time. It's his birthday. It's his 36th birthday. You've made him cakes before. Maria studied her daughter's face, then the small card Luna was definitely trying to hide. What are you planning? Nothing. Luna Maria Garcia, I raised you. I know when you're planning something. Maria plucked the card from Luna's hand before she could stop her. Read it. Raised an eyebrow. Make a wish? This is your big move? After 2 years of the 2 of you dancing around each other like teenagers? Don't mind me. I've watched you turn red every time that man walks in here. I've watched him find excuses to come personally instead of sending his assistant. I've watched 2 years of this thing, and neither of you doing anything about it. Maria handed back the card. Put it in the box. Take the risk. You're my daughter. We take risks. Luna looked at her mother, Maria Garcia, who'd built one of New York's most famous bakeries from nothing. Who'd been 22 and pregnant when Luna's father had looked at her and said he wanted no part of fatherhood. Who'd worked 18-hour days with a baby strapped to her back. Who'd taught Luna that being alone was better than being with someone who didn't choose you every single day. What if he doesn't want me? Luna asked quietly. What if I'm reading this wrong? Then you're reading it wrong and you move on. But Fila, I don't think you're reading it wrong. That man looks at you like you're the only thing in the room. Has for 2 years. Someone needs to do something before you're both 80 and still making eyes at each other across pastry displays. Luna laughed despite her nerves. That's very dramatic. I'm Portuguese. We're allowed to be dramatic. Now put that card in the box before he gets here. He called an hour ago to confirm pickup time. He's coming himself. Again. Like always. Because Lorenzo Vitale always came himself. Even though he was CEO of a massive real estate empire. Even though he had a dozen people who could pick up cakes. Every 60 days or so, for some family celebration or corporate event, Lorenzo Vitale walked into Garcia's bakery personally. And every time, Luna's heart did something complicated in her chest. The first time had been 2 years ago. Luna had just come back from culinary school in Portugal. Her mother's gift, 3 years studying in Lisbon with her avó, learning techniques Maria hadn't had time to teach her. She'd walked into the bakery on her first day back, and there he was, tall, dark-haired, wearing a suit that probably cost more than Luna's entire wardrobe, talking to Maria about a birthday cake for his mother. And this is my daughter, Luna, Maria had said with obvious pride. Just back from Lisbon. She's going to be working with me now. Lorenzo had turned, extended a hand, smiled. Welcome back. Your mother talks about you constantly. She's very proud. Luna had shaken his hand, warm, firm, confident, and managed to say something polite. Probably. She honestly couldn't remember, because her brain had short-circuited somewhere around the moment his eyes met hers. Deep brown, kind, intelligent, and looking at her with an interest that made her stomach flip. It's nice to finally meet you, he'd said. I've been coming here since I was 16. Your mother's cakes are legendary. They really are, Luna had agreed, finding her voice. She's the best. I'm standing right here, Maria had said, amused. Stop talking about me like I'm not. Lorenzo had laughed, bought his cake, left. And Luna had stood there thinking, Oh no. Because she knew that feeling. That immediate, undeniable pull. That sense of recognition. Like her body knew something her brain hadn't caught up to yet. She'd felt it exactly once before, with a boy in culinary school who'd been sweet and funny until he wasn't. Until he'd decided Luna was too quiet, too shy, too much work. Until he'd left the same way her father had, quickly, completely, without looking back. So Luna had learned. She didn't chase. She didn't pursue. She protected herself. Except Lorenzo kept coming back. Every 60 days. Sometimes every 45 if there was an extra event. Walking in, ordering elaborate cakes, asking about Luna's day, complimenting her work, looking at her with those eyes that made her feel seen and terrified in equal measure. The second visit, 2 months after the first, he'd asked about Portugal. Had she missed it? What was Lisbon like? Did she prefer working there or here? The third visit, he'd remembered she liked espresso and brought her one from the cafe next door. I noticed you always have coffee when you're decorating. Thought you might want good coffee instead of whatever you're making in that machine back there. The fifth visit, he'd stayed for 20 minutes after picking up his order, asking about her avo's techniques, about Portuguese baking traditions, about her favorite things to make. By the 8th visit, Maria had started giving them privacy. "I'll be in the back if you need me," she'd say, disappearing with a knowing smile. By the 10th visit, Luna was fully, hopelessly aware that she was falling for a man who came to her bakery every 2 months and never crossed the line from friendly customer to anything more. Until today. And Luna kept making perfect cakes and being professionally friendly and absolutely not acknowledging the electricity that crackled between them every single time. Until today. Today, Luna was 27 years old, had her mother's strength in her bones and her avo's stubbornness in her blood, and she was done waiting. She slipped the card into the box just as the bell above the door chimed. Lorenzo Vitale walked into Garcia's bakery at exactly 4 p.m., same as always. Luna's heart kicked into overdrive. "Good afternoon," he said, smile warm and genuine. "I believe I have an order?" "You do." Luna's voice came out steadier than expected. "Good. 1 chocolate espresso cake with raspberry filling. Your favorite." "You remembered my favorite." "You order it every time." "True, but you still remembered." He moved closer to the counter. "How have you been, Luna?" "Good. Busy. We've had a lot of orders this week." "That's what happens when you make the best cakes in Manhattan." "My mother makes the best cakes in Manhattan. I just help." "I've tasted your work. You're being modest." Lorenzo leaned against the counter in that way he did. Casual, comfortable, like he belonged there. "Your avo's techniques, your mother's instincts, it's a good combination." "You've never tasted anything my avo made." "Your mother told me. Last month. We talked for 20 minutes while you were in the back preparing my order. She's very chatty when she wants to be. She likes you. I like her. She's impressive. Built all this." He gestured at the bakery. "From nothing. Raised you alone. That takes strength. She's the strongest person I know." "I believe it. You're a lot like her." "I'm really not. She's fearless. Luna stopped, not sure how to finish that sentence. "You're what?" "Careful. Careful isn't bad. Careful means you think before you act. Means you don't make stupid mistakes." Lorenzo smiled. Though sometimes careful people miss opportunities because they're too busy being careful. Was that aimed at her? At them? Luna couldn't tell. She thought about her mother's story, the one Maria had told her when Luna was old enough to understand. How Maria had been 22, newly arrived from Portugal, pregnant and alone. How Luna's father, whose name Maria still refused to say, had taken one look at the pregnancy test and walked out. Not gradually. Not with excuses. Just, you're on your own. And Maria had been. On her own in a new country with barely enough English to get by, working 3 jobs while pregnant, saving every cent. She'd given birth in a tiny apartment in Queens with only a neighbor as support. Had gone back to work at a bakery 2 weeks later with infant Luna strapped to her chest in a carrier. The owner, an old Portuguese woman named Senhora Costa, had seen something in Maria. Taught her everything. Left her the bakery when she died 5 years later with a note that said, "You have the gift. Make something beautiful." And Maria had. For 25 years, she'd built Garcia's from a small neighborhood shop into one of Manhattan's most sought-after bakeries. Elite families, celebrities, corporate events. Everyone wanted Maria Garcia's cakes. Luna had grown up in flour and sugar. Her first memories were of sitting on the counter, tiny hands trying to help roll dough. Of Maria singing Portuguese folk songs while decorating cakes at 2 a.m. Of falling asleep in the back office surrounded by the smell of vanilla and almonds. Of never having a father. Of watching other kids get picked up by dads while Luna waited for Maria, who was always working, always building, always alone. Maria had never dated, never remarried, never even seemed interested. "Why would I waste time on men?" She told Luna once. "I have you. I have my business. I have everything I need. Men leave. Bakeries stay." Luna had absorbed that lesson deeply. Men leave. Be careful. Protect yourself. Until Lorenzo Vitale walked into her life and made her want to stop being careful. "Your cake is ready," she said, retrieving the box. "I hope it's perfect for your birthday." "You remembered it's my birthday." "You mentioned it when you ordered. 2 weeks ago, you remembered." "I remember all our customers' important dates," Luna said, which was true, but also not the whole truth. She remembered everything about Lorenzo Vitale. Every conversation, every smile, every moment he'd stood at this exact counter, looking at her like she was interesting instead of invisible. "Thank you." He took the box, then paused. "Luna, can I ask you something?" Her heart stopped. "Of course. Every time I come in here I feel like..." He stopped, seeming to choose words carefully. "Like there's something neither of us is saying. Am I imagining that?" Luna's breath caught. This was it, the moment. She could deny it, play safe, protect herself. Or she could be brave. "You're not imagining it," she said quietly. "Good. Because I've been wanting to." The bell chimed. A customer walked in. Lorenzo stepped back, professional distance instantly in place. "Thank you for the cake. It looks perfect." "Wait." Luna moved around the counter before she could stop herself. "Open it. Make sure it's exactly what you wanted." Lorenzo looked surprised, but opened the box. Saw the cake, 3 layers of chocolate espresso perfection, and the small card tucked inside. He picked up the card, read it. His expression changed. Surprise, then something warmer, something that made Luna's stomach flip and her face heat. He looked up at her. "Make a wish?" "It's your birthday," Luna managed. "You should make a wish." "I already know what I want." Luna's breath stopped. "You do?" "I do." Lorenzo set down the box, moved closer. "Have dinner with me. Tomorrow night. Let me take you somewhere nice and have an actual conversation that's not interrupted by customers or professional boundaries, or 2 years of both of us being too careful." Luna's brain had stopped functioning. "Dinner? Unless you don't want to. If I'm misreading this." He held up the card. "Tell me now and I'll apologize, and we'll pretend this never happened." "You're not misreading it." "No? No. I've wanted..." Luna stopped, gathered courage. "I've wanted you to ask me out for 2 years. I just didn't think you'd ever actually do it. Why wouldn't I? Because I'm me. And you're you. And we're... She gestured vaguely. Very different. We're not that different. We both work too much. We both appreciate good food. We both apparently spend an excessive amount of time thinking about each other. He smiled. Dinner, Luna. Say yes. From the kitchen doorway, Maria's voice. Say yes, Fila. Don't make him wait another 2 years. My. What? He's handsome. He's polite. He tips well. Say yes before he changes his mind. Lorenzo laughed. I'm not changing my mind. I'm very persistent. It's how I got this far in business. Fine. Yes. Luna couldn't believe she was saying this. Dinner tomorrow. Yes. Good. I'll pick you up at 7. Text me your address. He pulled out his phone, and Luna somehow managed to add her number while her hands were shaking. 7. Tomorrow. Yes. She was repeating herself, very smooth. Wear something comfortable. I'm thinking Italian. I know a place. I'm Portuguese. We don't do Italian. You're about to. It's excellent. You'll love it. Confident. Realistic. He picked up his cake box. Thank you for this. And for the note. Best birthday gift I've gotten in years. You haven't even opened the rest of your presents yet. Don't care. This is better. He headed for the door, then turned back. Luna? Yes? I've wanted to ask you out for 2 years too, just so you know. You're not alone in that. He left. Luna stood frozen at the counter while her brain tried to process what had just happened. Maria appeared at her side. Well, that went well. I have a date, tomorrow, with Lorenzo Vitale. I know. I was standing right here. What do I do? What do I wear? What do I say? I don't know how to... Breathe, Fila. You just did the hard part. The rest is easy. The hard part was the note. The rest is dinner with possibly the most attractive man I've ever met, who apparently has wanted to ask me out for 2 years, and I had no idea. You had some idea. You just didn't believe it. Maria hugged her daughter. You're beautiful and talented and smart. Any man would be lucky to take you to dinner, including Lorenzo Vitale. He's so out of my league. He's a customer who buys cakes. You're the woman who makes them. Same league, different positions. Maria pulled back. Besides, you're my daughter. We're out of everyone's league. We just let them catch up eventually. That's very confident. That's very true. Now, Maria headed back to the kitchen. I'm calling your avo. She's going to want to hear about this. No. Too late. Already dialing. Luna groaned and collapsed onto the stool behind the counter. Her phone buzzed. Lorenzo. Already looking forward to tomorrow. Thank you for being brave enough to put that note in the box. L. Luna. Thank you for being brave enough to actually ask me out instead of making me wait another 2 years. Luna. Lorenzo. I would have asked sooner if I'd known you were waiting. See you tomorrow. Luna stared at her phone, heart racing, face hot, brain still processing. She'd done it. She'd taken the risk. And he'd said yes. From the kitchen. Vo, you won't believe what Luna just did. Luna dropped her head onto the counter. Her grandmother was going to have opinions. So many opinions. But underneath the embarrassment and nerves, she felt something else. Hope. For the first time in 2 years, maybe for the first time since that boy in Portugal had decided she wasn't worth the effort, Luna felt hopeful. Because Lorenzo Vitale had read her note and said exactly what she'd needed to hear. I already know what I want. And what he wanted was her. Tomorrow couldn't come fast enough. Luna changed outfits 6 times before her date. You look beautiful in all of them, Maria called from the doorway. Pick one and stop panicking. I can't stop panicking. This is Lorenzo Vitale. He's... A man who buys cakes, who asked you to dinner. Relax, Filha. Avo says I should wear the blue dress, Luna said, holding up her phone where her grandmother was FaceTiming from Portugal. Avo thinks everything should be blue, Maria countered. It's her favorite color. Blue is dignified. Leonore's voice came through tinny but firm. Luna, wear the blue. Show him you're a serious woman. Mine, she's 27, not 50. Let her wear something fun. Fun is how girls get pregnant and abandoned, Leonore said bluntly. Vo. What? I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Your mother knows. Maria's expression tightened slightly. That was a different situation. Different man. This one seems... They all seem good until they're not. Luna, be careful. Vo, he asked me to dinner, not to run away with him to Vegas, Luna said, pulling on the blue dress because arguing with her grandmother was pointless. It's one date. One date becomes two, becomes three, becomes you're barefoot and pregnant and he's gone. Leonore's face filled the screen, stern, weathered, fiercely protective. I'm just saying be smart. I'm always smart. Your mother was smart too, and look what happened. I'm hanging up now, Maria said firmly. Luna needs to finish getting ready, and you need to stop scaring her. I'm not scaring her. I'm preparing her. There's a difference. Goodbye, Mai. Wear tights, in case he gets ideas. Maria ended the call. Looked at Luna. You don't have to wear tights. I'm wearing tights. She'll ask for photographic evidence. Your Avo means well. I know, she's just terrified you'll end up like me, alone with a baby. Maria sat on Luna's bed. For the record, I don't regret you, not for a second, but I do regret him, and your Avo's been holding that grudge for 27 years. Do you ever think about him, my father? Sometimes, usually when I'm very tired or very angry. I wonder if he knows what he missed. If he ever regrets walking away from the best thing that ever happened to him. Maria smiled. Then I stop wondering because it doesn't matter. He made his choice. I made mine. You're here, the bakery's successful, and he's somewhere being irrelevant. That's very philosophical. That's very Portuguese. We hold grudges forever, but we move on anyway. Maria stood. Now finish getting ready. Lorenzo will be here in 15 minutes and you still need lipstick. Lorenzo arrived at exactly 7 p.m., wearing dark jeans and a button-down shirt that made him look somehow more attractive than his business suits. You look beautiful, he said, when Luna answered the door. You look nice. Different. Without the suit. I own casual clothes. I just don't wear them to pick up cakes. He smiled. Ready? Yes. Let me just... I'm leaving. Maria appeared, wiping her hands on a towel. Lorenzo, take care of my daughter. I will. I promise. If you hurt her, I know where you live. Your family's been ordering from me for 20 years. I could poison your cakes. Mine. What? I'm just establishing expectations. Maria kissed Luna's cheek. Have fun, Filha. Text me when you get there, and when you leave, and when you get home. That's a lot of texting. That's being a responsible daughter. The restaurant was small, intimate, tucked away in the West Village. Not aggressively fancy, just warm and welcoming with excellent food. This is one of my favorite places, Lorenzo said, holding her chair. My family doesn't know about it, which means we won't be interrupted by my mother demanding to know who you are. Would that be bad? Being interrupted by your mother? Not bad, just premature. I'd like to have at least one conversation with you before my entire family gets involved. They're enthusiastic. Enthusiastic? Italian, loud, opinionated. They have thoughts about everything and share them whether you want to hear them or not. He smiled. My mother's been asking when I'm going to settle down since I turned 30. She's going to lose her mind when she finds out I'm dating someone. We're not dating yet. This is one dinner. Are we doing that thing where we pretend this isn't what it is? Because I'd rather not. I'm too old for games. What do you think this is? The start of something, if you want it to be. Lorenzo leaned forward slightly. I've wanted to ask you out for 2 years, Luna. This isn't casual for me. I don't do casual. I don't have time for it. So if you're looking for something light and fun and temporary, tell me now and I'll adjust my expectations. I don't do casual either. Good. Then we're on the same page. They talked through appetizers, entrees, dessert, about work, family, ambitions. Luna told stories about culinary school in Lisbon, about her avo's tiny apartment filled with the smell of bacalhau and pastel de nata. Lorenzo talked about growing up in a loud Italian family, about taking over the family business at 30, about the pressure of living up to his father's legacy. My father built the company from nothing, Lorenzo said over espresso. Came from Italy with no money and worked construction until he could start his own development firm. Now we're worth millions. And every day I worry I'm going to be the one who ruins it. That's a lot of pressure. It is, but it's also purpose, legacy, knowing that what I do matters beyond just myself. He smiled. Your mother understands that. Building something that lasts. Something you can pass on. She wants me to take over the bakery eventually. I'm just not sure I'm ready. Why not? Because she built it from nothing. She sacrificed everything. Her youth, her social life, any chance at love. The bakery is her entire life. What if I take over and ruin it? What if I'm not good enough? Luna, I've tasted your work. You're more than good enough. You have your mother's skill and your avo's precision and your own creativity. You're going to be brilliant. You don't know that. I do. Because I've been watching you for 2 years. I've seen how you work. How you care about every detail. How you light up when someone enjoys your cakes. You love this. And you're talented. That's a powerful combination. Luna felt her face heat. You've been watching me? Obviously. Why do you think I kept coming back personally instead of sending someone? I'm a CEO. I don't have time to pick up cakes. But I made time. Every 60 days. Sometimes more if I could justify it. Because seeing you was the best part of those days. Luna didn't know what to say. That's very direct. I'm Italian. We're direct. We see something we want. We go for it. I wanted you. I went for it. Eventually. After 2 years of being too polite. He reached across the table, took her hand. This is me being direct now. I like you, Luna Garcia. I want to see where this goes. And I'm hoping you feel the same. I do, You're scared. Yes. Of what? Of you leaving. Everyone leaves eventually. Your father. How did you... Your mother mentioned it once. She didn't give details. Just said she'd raised you alone, and it had made both of you careful about trust. Lorenzo squeezed her hand. I'm not your father. I don't leave. When I commit to something, a business deal, a project, a person, I see it through. That's who I am. You don't even know me yet. I know enough. I know you're talented and kind, and you bite your lip when you're nervous. I know you make the best cakes in New York, and you're shy around customers but confident in the kitchen. I know you text your avo every morning, and you worry about your mother working too hard, and you put too much pressure on yourself to be perfect. He smiled. And I want to know everything else, if you'll let me. Luna looked at their joined hands. At this man who'd waited 2 years because he didn't want to pressure her. Who'd made time in his busy life to see her. Who was looking at her now like she was something precious. Okay, she said. Let's see where this goes. They dated for 3 weeks before Lorenzo said, I want you to meet my family. Already? Luna, in Italian families, 3 weeks is basically engaged. My mother's already asking questions. What kind of questions? Who you are, what you do, when she gets to meet you, when we're getting married, how many grandchildren we're planning. He smiled at her expression. I'm not joking. She's very goal-oriented. We've been dating 3 weeks. I know, I've told her that. She doesn't care. She says she knew my father was the one after 2 weeks and they've been married 40 years, so clearly timelines are irrelevant. That's insane? Yes. But also kind of sweet. She just wants me to be happy. And I am. With you. So she wants to meet the person making me happy. What if she doesn't like me? Impossible. You make amazing cakes. That's basically guaranteed approval in my family. Luna worried anyway. For a week, until the following Sunday, when Lorenzo picked her up for family dinner. Should I bring something? She asked. No. My mother would be offended. She's very territorial about her kitchen. Should I? What do I wear? How do I? Luna, breathe. They're going to love you. You don't know that. I do, because I love you, and my family loves what I love. Luna stopped walking. What? Lorenzo stopped too, looked at her. I love you. I should have said it more romantically. Should have planned it. But I don't want to wait. I've waited 2 years already. I love you, Luna Garcia. I'm in love with you. And I want my family to meet the woman I'm going to marry. Marry? Eventually. Not tomorrow, but eventually. Is that okay? Luna's brain had stopped functioning somewhere around, I love you. Yes. That's okay, I love you too. I think? I mean, I do, I definitely do. I just didn't expect. Lorenzo kissed her. Right there on the sidewalk outside his family's house in Brooklyn. Kissed her until she forgot to be nervous. There, he said when they separated. Now you know. And now we can go inside and face my family. You're very calm about this. I'm terrified, but I'm not showing it. Leadership skills. He wasn't kidding about the family being loud. Luna could hear them from outside. Voices overlapping. Someone laughing. What sounded like an argument in rapid Italian that might have been serious, or might have been affectionate. It was impossible to tell. Ready? Lorenzo asked. No, let's do it anyway. The house was chaos. Beautiful chaos. 20 people, 3 generations, filling a dining room that probably sat 12 comfortably and currently held twice that. Children running around, adults talking simultaneously, something that smelled incredible cooking in the kitchen. Lorenzo! A woman appeared, 50s, beautiful, wearing an apron and wielding a wooden spoon. Finally, we've been waiting, and this must be Luna. Mama, this is Luna Garcia. Luna, my mother, Francesca. Luna, from the bakery. We love your mother's cakes. Best in New York. Francesca pulled Luna into a hug before she could offer a handshake. Come, meet everyone. Vittorio. Lorenzo brought a girl. Luna was swept into introductions. Lorenzo's father, Vittorio, quiet, kind, observant. His siblings Marco and Gianna, both loud and opinionated. Their spouses, their children, various aunts, uncles, cousins whose names Luna immediately forgot, and presiding over everything from the head of the table, Nonna Giulia, 92 years old, sharp-eyed, wrapped in a shawl despite the warm house. So, Nonna said when Luna was brought before her. You're the girl making my Lorenzo smile. I hope so, yes. You make cakes. Yes, Nonna. With my mother. She owns Garcia's bakery. I know Garcia's. Maria Garcia. Portuguese. Makes excellent pastéis de nata. Not as good as Italian cannoli, but excellent for Portuguese. I'll tell her you said so. Nonna studied her. You're nervous. Yes. Good. You should be. This family is a lot. Loud. Opinionated. In your business constantly. If you marry my Lorenzo, you marry all of us. You understand? I understand. You're Portuguese? Yes. My mother's from near Porto. My avo still lives there. Portuguese are stubborn. Good. Lorenzo needs stubborn. He's too serious. Too much work. You make him less serious? I try. Good. He needs that. Nonna patted Luna's hand. I like you. You stay. That was apparently Nonna's blessing because everyone relaxed immediately. Dinner was magnificent chaos. 7 courses, everyone talking simultaneously, arguments in Italian that Luna couldn't follow but enjoyed anyway. Francesca kept adding food to her plate. Vittorio asked intelligent questions about the bakery. The siblings teased Lorenzo mercilessly about finally dating someone. She's pretty, Gianna said. Does she know you're boring? I'm not boring. You reorganize your closet by color. That's boring. That's organized. That's pathological, Marco added. Luna, run while you can. I like organized, Luna said quietly. My mother's bakery is color-coded. It makes sense. She likes him, Gianna told Marco. This is serious. How serious? Francesca asked Luna directly. Because Lorenzo says it's serious. But he said that before and... Mama, that was one time, 6 years ago. One time was enough. That girl, Victoria, she was wrong for you. All wrong. But this one... Francesca looked at Luna. This one feels different, yes? Yes, Lorenzo said before Luna could answer. She's very different. She's right. The table went quiet. Then Francesca started crying. He says she's right. Did you hear? Vittorio, he says she's right. I heard, Cara. Everyone heard. This is beautiful. Nonna, did you hear? I heard. I approved already. Keep up, Francesca. 1 week later, Lorenzo suggested Luna bring her mother and grandmother to Sunday dinner. Both of them? Luna asked. You've met my family. I should meet yours properly. Not just buying cakes, but actually sitting down. Getting to know them. My avo's coming from Portugal next week. She could. Perfect. Bring them both. My mother will love meeting them. You want 3 Portuguese women at your Italian family dinner. I want your family and my family to meet. We're serious, Luna. This matters. So the following Sunday, Luna arrived at the Vitale house with Maria and Avo Leonor, both nervous and trying not to show it. Remember, Leonor said as they walked up the steps. Portugueses are just as good as Italianos. Better, even. Don't let them intimidate you. We're not at war, Maria said. We're having dinner. Same thing with Italians. Everything is competition. Lorenzo opened the door before they could knock. Welcome, come in, come in. You must be Maria. I've met you, but not like this. And you're Leonor? Avo Leonor, the old woman corrected. You call me Avo. Everyone does. Avo, then. Honored to meet you. He kissed both her cheeks in the Portuguese style. Luna talks about you constantly. Good things, I hope. Only good things. Come. My family's excited to meet you. Inside was the usual chaos. Francesca appeared immediately, pulling Maria into a hug. Maria, finally. We've been customers for 20 years and now we meet properly. Your cakes are magnificent. Truly magnificent. Thank you. Your family has been wonderful to us. And you must be Luna's avo. Francesca turned to Leonor. Welcome, welcome. Come meet everyone. Nonna. The Portuguese Nonna is here. Nonna Giulia appeared, leaning on her cane, studying Leonor with sharp eyes. So, Nonna said, you're the Portuguese grandmother. And you're the Italian one, Leonor replied. They stared at each other for a long moment, then both smiled. You have good posture, Nonna said. For 90 years old. I'm 73. Still good posture. I'm 92. Better posture. Debatable. Not debatable. Italian posture. Stronger. Portuguese posture. More graceful. Are they fighting? Luna whispered to Lorenzo. I think they're bonding, he whispered back. Dinner seated the Portuguese women together across from the Vitales, which meant everyone could watch the Avos trade barbs all evening. This sauce, Leonor said over pasta. It's good, but Portuguese molho would be better. More flavor. Portuguese sauce is all tomato, Nonna countered. No depth. Italian sauce has layers, complexity. Portuguese has soul. Italian has passion. Same thing, not same thing. By dessert, cannoli on one end, pastéis de nata on the other, the two grandmothers had moved from arguing to laughing. Your Luna is good for my Lorenzo, Nonna told Leonor. Makes him happy. Your Lorenzo better treat her well, Leonor replied, or he'll answer to me. And to me. We protect our grandchildren together now. Together? Our families are joining. That means we're, what's the word? Co-nonas. That's not a word. It is now, I decided. Leonor laughed. You're stubborn. Portuguese are also stubborn. We'll get along. Maria and Francesca were bonding over cooking techniques. Vittorio was asking Leonor about Porto. The siblings had pulled Luna into a card game. Lorenzo leaned over to Luna. This is going well. Your grandmother and mine are either best friends or planning each other's murders. I can't tell which. Probably both. That's how Italian friendships work. 2 hours later, saying goodbye, Nonna pulled Leonor aside. You come back. Next Sunday. We do this again. Every Sunday? Leonor asked. Every Sunday. New tradition. Portuguese and Italian together. Our family's joined now. You're part of this. What if I have plans? You're 73. What plans? Come, eat, argue with me. It's fun. Leonor smiled. Maybe, if the sauce is better next time. Sauce is always good. You just have Portuguese taste buds. Inferior. We'll see who's inferior when I bring my arroz doce next week. Is that a threat? It's a promise. In the car, Maria laughed. Your avo just committed us to weekly dinners with the Vitales. Is that bad? Luna asked. No, it's actually nice. Having family, having people. Maria smiled. Your father walked away and left me alone. But look at us now. 2 families, 2 cultures, together. He missed all of this. His loss, Leonor said firmly. We're better off without him. Always have been. Luna leaned against Lorenzo's shoulder, thinking about 2 grandmothers bonding over stubbornness and competing desserts. About her mother finally having family beyond just Luna. About finding a home in a loud Italian house full of people who'd welcomed 3 Portuguese women without question. This is good, Luna said quietly. This is really good. It's perfect, Lorenzo agreed, and it's just the beginning. 6 months after that first family dinner, Sunday gatherings had become sacred tradition. Every week, without fail, the Portuguese contingent, Luna, Maria, and Avo Leonor, who'd extended her visit indefinitely, would arrive at the Vitale house with Portuguese dishes. The Italians would counter with Italian classics, and the 2 grandmothers would spend the entire meal arguing about whose cuisine was superior while secretly enjoying each other's company immensely. This bifanaz, Nonna Julia said one Sunday, biting into Maria's marinated pork sandwich. It's good. Not as good as Italian porchetta, but good. Your porchetta is dry, Leonor countered. Portuguese pork is juicier, more flavor. Is not dry, is perfect. Is cardboard with seasoning. Take that back. Make me. Please stop antagonizing Nonna, Maria said, not bothering to hide her smile. She started it, Leonor replied primly. Did not. Portuguese always start. This is every week now, Lorenzo murmured to Luna. Should we intervene? They're having fun, Let them fight. They'll never admit they like each other. They don't have to. Everyone knows. Luna leaned against him. Your family does this thing where they show love through arguing. My avo does the same thing. They're perfect for each other. Like us. We don't argue. Not yet. Give it time. I'm Italian. You're Portuguese. Arguing is inevitable. He kissed her temple. I'm looking forward to it. Life had settled into a comfortable rhythm. Luna worked at the bakery, gradually taking on more responsibilities as Maria finally, started to trust that her daughter could handle the business. Lorenzo ran his company, somehow finding time to stop by the bakery twice a week for coffee and quality control of Luna's latest creations. They were good together. Easy. He'd met the shy, careful version of Luna and waited patiently while she learned to be brave. She'd met the serious, work-focused version of Lorenzo and taught him to take breaks, to laugh, to steal 10 minutes in the bakery kitchen just to kiss her while Maria pretended not to notice. I'm going to marry you, Lorenzo said one evening in Luna's apartment. Just stated it, matter of fact, like he was commenting on the weather. Luna looked up from the cake design she was sketching. What? I'm going to marry you. Eventually. I just wanted you to know. So you can, I don't know, mentally prepare. Start thinking about what kind of wedding you want. Warn your grandmother that I'm planning to propose. You're telling me you're going to propose? Yes. Because I don't want you to be surprised and panic and accidentally say no because you're nervous. This way, when I actually ask, you'll have had time to think about it. Decide your answer. Prepare accordingly. That's the least romantic proposal warning I've ever heard. I know, I'm bad at romance, but I'm good at logistics. And logistically, I want to marry you. So I'm giving you advance notice. Luna set down her pencil. What if I say no? Will you? No. Then why are we playing hypotheticals? I'm going to propose. You're going to say yes. We're going to get married. Our families are going to have opinions about everything. Your grandmother and mine are going to argue about whether the wedding should have Portuguese or Italian traditions. We'll compromise with both. It'll be chaos and beautiful and exactly right. You've thought about this. I've thought about nothing else for 6 months. Probably longer if I'm honest. Since the day you put that note in my birthday cake. He moved closer. I already know what I want, Luna. It's you. Always you. So yes, I'm going to propose. Soon. Be ready. 2 weeks later, Luna was closing the bakery when Lorenzo appeared. You're early, she said. I thought we were having dinner at 8. Change of plans. Come with me. Where? It's a surprise. Trust me. He drove them to Central Park, to Bow Bridge, where the late afternoon sun made everything golden, where he'd clearly planned something because there were rose petals on the ground and a photographer trying to be discreet and failing. Lorenzo, I told you I was going to propose. I'm proposing. He took her hands. Luna Maria Garcia, I love you. I've loved you since you were too shy to look at me directly. Since you made perfect cakes and bit your lip when you were nervous. Since you wrote "Make a Wish" on a card and gave me the courage to finally ask you out. This is very public for someone who gave me advance warning to prepare. You've had 2 weeks. You're prepared. Now let me finish. He smiled. You make me better, calmer, happier. You make me want to leave work early and steal time in bakery kitchens and spend Sundays with our chaotic combined families. You make me want everything: marriage, future, kids, growing old together while our grandmothers argue about whose cooking is superior. For the record, Portuguese cooking is superior. I'm Italian. I'm legally required to disagree, but I'll let you believe it. He pulled out a ring box, opened it. Marry me. Be my wife. Let me spend the rest of my life making you happy. Say yes. Yes. That was fast. You didn't even look at the ring. Don't need to. The answer's yes. Has been since you asked me to dinner 6 months ago. Maybe since you walked into the bakery 2 years ago. Luna looked at the ring. Emerald cut. Perfect. Exactly her style. Though, for the record, this is beautiful. Isabella helped me pick it. Said you'd like emerald cut because it's clean lines. She was right. Isabella knows me well. Luna held out her hand. Lorenzo slid the ring on. Perfect fit, because of course he'd been thorough. Your mother's going to lose her mind. She already knows. I asked permission last week. From my mother? From both mothers, and both grandmothers. I'm Italian. We do things properly. He kissed her. They all said yes, enthusiastically. Your avo threatened me with bodily harm if I hurt you. My nonna did the same. They're terrifying together. They're going to co-plan this wedding. I know. We're going to lose all control immediately. Are you prepared for that? No. But I don't care. Luna kissed him again. I love you. I love you too. Now let's go tell everyone officially so they can start fighting about venue options. The wedding planning was exactly as chaotic as predicted. 2 grandmothers with strong opinions. 2 mothers who wanted to be involved in every detail. 2 families with different traditions. And Luna and Lorenzo in the middle, trying to make everyone happy, while also actually planning a wedding they wanted. The church, Nonna Giulia insisted, must be Catholic church, traditional, proper. We're also Catholic, Leonor countered. Portuguese Catholic. Which church? Yours or ours? Mine is closer. Mine is prettier. Beauty is subjective. Then we'll let the young people decide. Luna and Lorenzo, watching this argument, were getting married outside. Both grandmothers. Outside? Gardens, Luna said firmly. Spring wedding, April, garden ceremony, both families, both traditions, both cultures, mixed. But the traditions, Nonna started. Will be mixed, Lorenzo finished. Portuguese and Italian, together. Like us, like our families, non-negotiable. The grandmothers shared a look. Fine, they said in unison. But I'm picking the flowers, Nonna added. And I'm picking the music, Leonor countered. Are they compromising or competing? Luna whispered. Both. Always both, Lorenzo replied. The menu became a 3-week negotiation. Italian antipasti and Portuguese appetizers. Pasta course and bacalhau course. 2 dessert options because neither grandmother would concede that the other's tradition was acceptable. We're having both pastéis de nata and cannoli, Maria told the caterer. Don't argue. Just make it happen. And 2 cakes, Francesca added. 1 traditional Italian, 1 traditional Portuguese. That's a lot of dessert. This is a wedding. There's no such thing as too much dessert. Luna somehow ended up making both cakes herself. This is my wedding, she protested to Lorenzo. I shouldn't have to work. Tell them that. I dare you. She didn't. Because seeing both grandmothers hovering in the bakery, offering suggestions and criticism and eventually helping, was too precious to disrupt. Watching Nonna Giulia learn to make pastéis de nata, while Avo Leonor learned to make cannoli. Watching them argue about technique while secretly respecting each other's skill. You're good at this, Nonna admitted grudgingly, for Portuguese. You're not terrible yourself, Leonor replied, for Italian. Is that a compliment? From me? Yes. Then thank you, I think. The wedding day arrived in April, perfect and sunny. Brooklyn Botanic Garden in full bloom. 200 guests, half Italian, half Portuguese, all loud and opinionated and happy. Luna wore her mother's wedding dress, the one Maria had worn to marry Luna's father in a tiny ceremony that had lasted all of 10 minutes before he'd realized what he'd committed to and started planning his exit. Maria had kept the dress all these years, pressed and perfect, waiting. "You don't have to wear it," Maria said that morning. "I know it has complicated associations. It's beautiful, and it's yours. And he doesn't get to ruin it." Luna turned, let Maria button up the back. "Besides, I'm rewriting the story. This dress watched you marry the wrong man. Now it gets to watch me marry the right one." "He is the right one," Maria agreed, tears in her eyes. "I like him. More importantly, I trust him. With you. With everything." "That's high praise from you." "It's the truth. He's good, solid. He's not going anywhere." The ceremony was chaos and perfect. Father Michaels, who was technically Italian but had learned Portuguese specifically for this wedding, performed the service in both languages. The vows were traditional Italian. The readings were traditional Portuguese. The music was an unholy mix of both. And when Lorenzo kissed Luna, both sides erupted in cheers so loud they probably violated several noise ordinances. The reception was magnificent chaos. Italian side brought wine and loud opinions. Portuguese side brought port and louder opinions. The dance floor was packed all evening. Traditional Italian tarantella followed by Portuguese folk dances, followed by completely modern pop that made the grandmothers clutch their pearls and dance anyway. "Your grandmother is doing the twist with my Uncle Paolo," Lorenzo told Luna. "Your nonna is teaching my cousins the tarantella. They're having more fun than we are." "Doubtful. I'm having the best day of my life." Luna rested her head on his shoulder. "We did it. We actually got married. We did. And both families survived the planning. Barely. But they survived. Together. United. That's what matters." At the head table, the grandmothers sat together, a position neither had wanted until they'd both wanted it simultaneously and refused to let the other win. Now they sat in matching chairs, surveying their joined families with identical expressions of satisfaction. "Good wedding," Nonna said. "Excellent wedding," Leonor agreed, even if the Italian food was slightly better than expected. And the Portuguese food was slightly less dry than usual. That's almost a compliment. "From me, it is." They clinked glasses. "To our grandchildren," Nonna said. "To family," Leonor added, "even Italian family. Especially Italian family. Don't push it." 3 months into marriage, Lorenzo found Luna in the bakery at 2 a.m. "Can't sleep?" he asked. "Wanted to test a new recipe. Your mother's birthday is next week. You don't have to make her birthday cake. We can order from—" He caught her expression. "Never mind. Stupid suggestion. I'm her daughter-in-law now. Of course I'm making her cake." Luna added vanilla to her mixing bowl. "Besides, I like making cakes for people I love. It's how I show I care. In that case, I'm looking forward to a lifetime of birthday cakes." "You better be. I'm very good at birthday cakes." She smiled at him. "Remember yours? 2 years ago? The one that started all this? The one with the note that said, 'Make a wish'? I remember. I remember reading it and thinking, finally she's giving me an opening. You could have made a move earlier." "I could have. But you were shy. And I was cautious. And we both needed time." He moved behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist. "But we got here eventually. That's what matters. We did. And now we're married. And our grandmothers are best friends. And my mother is teaching your mother to make pastéis de nata. And your nonna is teaching my avó to make proper sauce. Our families have fully merged. It's terrifying and wonderful. That's a good description of everything about us." Luna turned in his arms. "I love you. I don't say it enough. But I do. I love you completely. I love you too. Even at 2 a.m. when you're covered in flour and testing recipes instead of sleeping. Especially then. That's when I'm happiest." She kissed him. "Thank you for reading that note, for asking me to dinner, for being patient with how scared I was. Thank you for being brave enough to write it, for taking the risk, for choosing me." 1 year into marriage, Maria made an announcement at Sunday dinner. "I'm retiring," she said calmly, as if she hadn't just dropped a bomb. "Luna's taking over the bakery, fully. I'm keeping ownership, but she's running everything. It's time." The table erupted. "Mine, you can't retire. You're only 55. What will you do all day?" Maria held up a hand. Silence fell immediately. That was Maria Garcia's power. Decades of being the boss meant people listened when she spoke. "I've been running that bakery for 28 years. I started when I was pregnant with Luna. I've worked 18-hour days for nearly 3 decades. I'm tired, and my daughter is ready." She looked at Luna. "More than ready. She's talented. She's creative. She has ideas I never would have thought of. It's her time." "Mine." Luna's voice caught. "Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything, except having you." "That was a good decision too." Maria smiled. "The bakery is yours, Fila. Make it yours. Change what needs changing. Keep what works. Build something new while honoring what was. I trust you completely." Luna cried. Francesca cried. Both grandmothers pretended not to cry while absolutely crying. "This calls for celebration," Nonna declared. "Vittorio, get the good wine." "We're drinking the good wine, Mama." "Then get the better wine, the one from my father, for special occasions." 2 years into marriage, Luna opened a second location. Not to replace Garcia's original bakery. That stayed exactly where it was, with Maria still coming in 3 mornings a week to supervise. Read, drink coffee, and chat with regular customers, and occasionally offer opinions Luna mostly ignored. But a second location in Manhattan. Smaller, more specialized. High-end custom cakes only. Wedding cakes. Elaborate celebration cakes. The kind of work Luna loved most. Edible art that took days to create and made people cry when they saw it. Lorenzo had wanted to fund it. Luna had refused. "I'm building this myself. The way my mother built the first bakery, with my own money, my own work. That's going to take longer. I don't care. It matters that I do this myself." He'd understood. Hadn't pushed. Had instead quietly helped in other ways, connecting her with contractors he trusted, recommending lawyers for the lease paperwork, spreading word through his business networks about this incredible baker who was opening a second location. The grand opening was chaos. Both families showed up. Half of Brooklyn seemed to have heard about Garcia's expanding. The line wrapped around the block. "We're success," Maria said, surveying the crowd with satisfaction. "Look at this, Luna. Look at what you built." "What we built, Mun. I learned everything from you. You learned technique from me. But the vision, the creativity, that's all you. I'm so proud I could burst." "Please don't burst at my grand opening. That would be bad press." Maria laughed and hugged her daughter, and Luna thought about how far they'd come. From a tiny apartment in Queens with an infant and a dream to this, 2 successful locations, a family that had multiplied, a future that looked bright. 3 years into marriage, Avo Leonore had something to say at Sunday dinner. "I'm staying," she announced. "In New York, permanently. Don't argue. I already decided." Your home is in Portugal," Maria started. "My home is where my family is, my daughter, my granddaughter, my great-grandchildren." She looked pointedly at Luna and Lorenzo. "When they eventually appear. I'm 76. I'm not flying back and forth anymore. I'm staying." "Where will you live?" Luna asked. "With you, obviously. You have that big apartment, plenty of room. Vo, we have a 2-bedroom. Then get a bigger apartment. Or I'll live with Maria. She has space. I have a 1-bedroom, my. Then we're all getting bigger places. This is not negotiable. I'm staying. Deal with it. Nonna Julia from across the table. Good. About time. I was getting bored arguing with Vittorio's brothers. You're more entertaining. Is that a compliment? From me? Obviously. They ended up finding Avo Leonor an apartment in the same building as Luna and Lorenzo. Close enough to visit constantly. Far enough for everyone to have privacy. Though I don't understand why you need privacy, Leonor said. You've been married 3 years. Where are my great-grandchildren? Vo. Don't vow me. I'm 76. I don't have forever. I want to meet my great-grandchildren before I die. You're not dying. Everyone dies. I'm just planning ahead. 4 years into marriage, Luna walked into Sunday dinner and made her own announcement. We're pregnant, she said simply. The table exploded. Francesca screamed. Maria cried. Both grandmothers immediately started arguing about whether it would be a boy or girl, and which grandmother would be the favorite, and whose traditions the baby would follow. Portuguese traditions, Leonor insisted. Italian traditions, Nonna countered. Why not both? Luna suggested, laughing. Like everything else in this family. Both. Mixed. Perfect chaos. The baby, a girl named Sofia Leonor Vitale, honoring both grandmothers and guaranteed to have strong opinions about everything, arrived the following spring. And if there was any doubt about how well 2 families had merged, it disappeared the moment both grandmothers insisted on being in the delivery room. Absolutely not, the doctor said firmly. Hospital policy. 2 people maximum. We're her grandmothers, they said in unison. You can visit after. After is too late. Lorenzo eventually negotiated a compromise. Both grandmothers in the waiting room, both mothers as backup if Luna wanted them. Lorenzo and Luna alone for the actual delivery. That's not fair, both grandmothers grumbled. Life isn't fair, Luna replied sweetly. Now go argue about whose nationality Sophia will claim first. That should keep you busy for a few hours. They did. For the entire 8-hour labor, the waiting room could hear them. She'll speak Portuguese first. Italian first. Portuguese is easier for babies. Italian is the language of love. Portuguese is the language of poetry. Same thing. Sophia was born at dawn, tiny and perfect, and surprisingly loud for someone who weighed 7 pounds. They stood there in the quiet bakery, surrounded by the smell of vanilla and sugar and possibility. 2 years since a birthday cake had changed everything. 6 months since a proposal. 3 months since a wedding that had united 2 families, 2 cultures, 2 stubborn grandmothers who would never admit they'd become best friends. What are you thinking? Lorenzo asked. That my father walked away from all of this. From my mother. From me. From the possibility of family and love and Sunday dinners with people who care. And I used to think that hurt. Used to think something was wrong with me that made him leave. Luna smiled. But now I know the truth. Nothing was wrong with me. Everything was wrong with him. And his loss became my gain. Because I got to grow up with the strongest woman I know. Got to learn from her. Got to build something with her. And eventually, she looked up at Lorenzo. Got to find someone who sees value in staying instead of leaving. I'm never leaving. You're stuck with me. Forever. Through Sunday dinners and grandmother arguments and birthday cakes and everything else. Good, because I'm keeping you. You and your entire chaotic Italian family. You're all mine now. All yours. Just like you're all ours. From the front of the bakery, a voice. Luna, are you here? I had a dream about the wedding cake. We need to make changes. Avo Leonor, at 2 a.m., with opinions. We've been married 3 months, Luna called back. What changes? For Nonna's birthday, She's turning 93. We need to make something special, better than what we planned. Vo, it's 2 a.m. I'm 73. I don't need sleep. I need to make sure Nona's cake is perfect. Lorenzo laughed. Want me to go home? Let you handle this? Absolutely not. You're staying, suffering through this with me. That's what marriage means. Fair enough. Let's go see what your grandmother wants to change. They walked to the front where Avo Leonor and, surprisingly, Nonna Julia were both standing, both holding sketches, both looking determined. You're both here? Luna asked. At 2 a.m.? We couldn't sleep, Nonna said, too excited about cake planning. You're 93 and 73. You should be sleeping. We'll sleep when we're dead, Leonor replied. Now, the cake. We were thinking Portuguese layers with Italian frosting, or Italian layers with Portuguese decoration. We can't agree. Why not both? Luna suggested. Half and half, literally divided down the middle, Portuguese on one side, Italian on the other. The grandmothers looked at each other. That's actually brilliant, Nonna admitted. I was going to suggest that, Leonor lied. You were not. Was too. We're not. Lorenzo leaned close to Luna. This is our life now. 2 grandmothers arguing at 2 a.m. about cake architecture. I know. It's perfect. And it was. Chaotic and loud, and occasionally infuriating, and absolutely perfect. 2 families that had become one. 2 cultures that had blended. 2 stubborn grandmothers who'd never admit they loved each other but showed it every single Sunday. Luna thought about her father sometimes, wondered if he knew what he'd missed, if he regretted walking away from the possibility of this. Family, love, belonging, late-night cake planning sessions with opinionated grandmothers. Then she stopped wondering. Because it didn't matter. He'd made his choice. And because he had, Luna got to make hers. She chose Lorenzo. Chose his loud Italian family. Chose Sunday dinners and cultural fusion and grandmother arguments. Chose staying instead of leaving. Chose building something beautiful with someone who'd read a 4-word note and responded with exactly what she'd needed to hear. I already know what I want. And what he'd wanted was her. All of her. Forever. Best birthday cake she'd ever made. Best wish anyone had ever granted.